Hey fellow Ristopians, welcome back to Ristopia. Let me just throw a watch on. It's a second time recording. I'm having a bit of trouble uploading. Let's stick my Session Master Series on. Sort these cuffs out. So, video title, the cost of delivery into the UK of an Erebus Origin. Here we are. Here's the Erebus Origin that I have coming. I'm doing this video a second time because I'm not sure it's uploading. No, it's failed. It just popped up. Yeah, the first one didn't upload, so I'll do it again. I've tried it twice. Here's the Erebus Origin that I have coming. It's coming Monday. It's coming earlier. It was meant to be March, but obviously it's now sort of around about mid-February. So that's good. I've ordered the black one on the curved link bracelet, not the flat link. I'm showing you this picture of it with all the dimensions purely because on the other one it cuts out the crown with there's a white circle around that arrow to go to different pictures. Let's go back and show you. See, it cuts out the crown, which looks a bit weird, very weird. So I want you to think it looks like that. So it looks like that. Yeah, so that's coming Monday, and this video was about the costs of the watch delivered to the UK. Now, I expected it to be this amount of money, which I'll go through in a sec. So I'm not complaining. I don't like DHL as a delivery company. I have issues with them. But, you know, international delivery, it's, I can't think, what's the one with the brown vans called? I can't think what they're called. The brown vans. Then you've got FedEx and you've got DHL. I don't like DHL. I've got issues with FedEx as well. But we'll come to the issues with DHL in a minute. I don't have an experience of these issues being the same with the other companies. And I think there are things that could avoid these issues, full stop. But we'll come to that in a minute. So this is the breakdown. So these prices are at time of launch. So I ordered it on at time of launch. At which point it was one Erebus Origin on a bracelet, as I already mentioned. It's $299 US. Jodie's in Australia, so that's Australian dollars, AUD, but his prices are sensibly all in US dollars. That wasn't meant to be sarcastic, by the way. So delivery, postage delivery was a flat fee of $35 US to the UK. It varies depending on where it's going to. I think, or is it might be a flat fee worldwide apart from, I think it was a flat fee worldwide apart from if you're in Australia, and then they'll just be sent out in a normal post. It'll be a lot cheaper, but worldwide delivery was $35 US. That gives you a total of $334 US. Converted to GBP, Great British Pounds, at point of sale was 200, so months ago before Christmas, was £284.19. That will vary slightly. That's basically what my bank charged me on whatever rate they used. But currency exchange rates vary for various reasons, time being the main one. I think they're very different now to what they were when I paid. Can't remember if they've gone up or down. But anyway, I paid £284.19. DHL yesterday requested £75.07. I expected them to request pretty much the exact amount, although my breakdown of why that is different to what it actually was. We'll come to that in a minute. Which gives a total cost of one Erebus Origin delivered into the UK if you bought it at launch of £359.26. That's going to be the same for everyone who bought at launch, roughly, actually, as I say, because there might be some difference with different people's exchange rate, but not much. It wouldn't have varied much at that time. So roughly £360. Now, I expected it to be that, as I've said, so I'm not complaining, but I think a lot of people, there's varying amounts looking in forums that people expect to be paying for this watch now in the UK. This is all in the UK. Some people are only going to be expecting to pay roughly £284. You know, they're not really expecting even VAT, which you should be expecting. And it does say on the Erebus website, you've got to pay local taxes, etc. I think there's one charge down here that they don't mention, and I think they actually should mention specifically, possibly, but if it's only unique to the UK, then maybe not. But, you know, I'm not, as I say, I'm not whinging. Particularly, I'm not whinging, I'm just giving you the facts. So that's £75. How is that made up? So this is how it's made up. So you have to pay the payment prior to it being delivered. DHL in the UK, as I said, will contact you and say you've got the amount to pay. It'll be slightly higher than 75, or will be a lot higher potentially than 75 if you've ordered multiple watches or watches and accessories. But for one watch, they asked me for the £75.07. They'll ask you via some sort of like an email, or maybe via the app if you've got the app. But they'll ask you for the money a couple of times from memory, and then if you don't pay it, they will keep asking you, saying they can't deliver it until they've got the money, probably. But then ultimately they'll just come to the door with the parcel and a machine asking for the money. And if you don't give them the money, you don't get the parcel. I'm not sure well, I know it gets sent back ultimately if you don't pay the fee. What happens then, I'm not sure. So do you get your money back from the company, in this case Erebus? Is it a partial refund or a full refund? I'm not sure what happens there. But I paid it. I knew I'd be paying it, but in a slightly different breakdown. So I'm not complaining. So it's free amounts. That £75 is made up of free amounts. The first one was duty/custom duty, DT in brackets. They give everything two titles. So one's at the top and then one's underneath in smaller font. That's £14.13. I'll come back to that one. Payment deferment risk. Also duty tax receiver, AV in brackets. Now that basically seems to be an admin charge levied by DHL for collecting the VAT, the duty, let's say. And then you've got your actual tax/value added tax, VAT and TX in brackets, which is £49.94. Now that is, I should write this down, that is 20% exactly of £249.70. So that to me is basically what they're saying the watch costing GBP, which is roughly right. It's roughly, the $299 US dollars is roughly £250. So that's the figure that is 20% off. It's exactly 20% of it. There's no like point of pennies there. So that, I think, so some people are going to expect to be paying that, yeah. But it's these two that they're possibly not expecting. Like a lot more people than they're not expecting to pay that are going to not expect to pay these two. So you got your DHL fee, and then this is the interesting one, the custom duty. Now that is a real thing. It's slightly complicated. I wasn't expecting to pay both of these two, but I was expecting to pay a higher admin charge, because the last time I had a DHL delivery from abroad, I paid £25, which I felt was a flat fee. I was expecting to pay that again, and 14, 13, and 11 is 25, isn't it? So it's that £25, but it's broken down. Now, I did suspect that, bit of a conspiracy theory, but have DHL kind of masked? Have they changed their £25 admin fee? Because that's a bitter pill to swallow. Have they kind of made that something else? Now, I don't know. I'm going to look into it. Custom duty is a thing. I wasn't expecting to pay both. Now, custom duty ranges from, I think, it goes up to 25%. It varies depending on what the thing is and whether it's a gift or not. But generally speaking, for most things, as this watch would fall into, it's up to 25%. Now, the weird thing is, I'm assuming, but 25% of what? I'm thinking it's up to 25%. So it could be, let's say, between 5 and 25%. But of what? I'm assuming it's the same thing that the 20% VAT is a percentage of. So that would be £249.70. But if you did that sum, then that is 5.6. It's not even exact, but it's roughly 5.66% of that. Is that so? To me, that doesn't make much sense. Why would it be a really random? Even if you round, obviously they can't charge you parts of a penny, but even if it was like rounded up or rounded down, it's never an exact amount. It's never a single percentage figure. Now, I think that I would imagine that, let's say it was between custom duty was between 5 and 20%. sorry, 5 and 25%, it would be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up to 25 possibly, or it might be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. But it's never going to, why would it be 5 points something? It's just a random amount. It doesn't make sense to me. So that actual figure is questionable. Maybe it's not a percentage of the same percentage that that is 20%, that is 20% of that of. Maybe it's not the same thing. I don't know, but I'm going to look into this. But yeah, so that, basically that's the amount that if you bought and you're already going to know this if you've already ordered one into the UK, you will have already received a request for that. I'm assuming, and therefore you'll know that it's roughly £360 for one Erebus Origin. Now, I have beef with DHL. Now, other companies, I'm not sure if they operate in the same way, but I think one of my problems is with them, I've got other issues with them, but one of my problems is that they're obviously going to collect duty, and I'm not saying that anyone shouldn't collect duty. They're obviously going to collect duty for everyone because they have an incentive to do that, don't they? I mean, I know they've got to do that, that's the law, but they're going to do it because they're getting their nice little fee. So you kind of think, I think to myself, well, other often things slip through the net and things just get delivered. Is it that DHL are being particularly vigilant, which is probably the correct thing to do, and they're saying, hang on a minute, we're making an effort to do this, we're going to charge for this? Or are they making the effort to be vigilant because then they get their fee? A bit of a conspiracy theory. But either way, I think a lot of people are not going to be happy with, because basically you're paying just over £100, for the $35 US dollar delivery plus the £75 DHL or the money that DHL are requesting, which includes their fee, maybe fees, I'm not sure. They're paying £105, over £100 for a £250-ish watch, which is kind of, I accepted that I would be doing that before I ordered, so I can't complain. But I think there's going to be a lot of kickback to that, and it might affect things in the future, whether people are going to bother. It's such a chunk. And I think there are ways that it could have been better handled. I know when I've bought things on AliExpress, you can prepay all this, so it just gets delivered. I'm thinking, could Jody have set that up? If it was set up, would the delivery company still charge a fee? Would that have been in the original? I just think it needs to be more transparent, which is what I'm trying to do here, really, just to show people, so people that have ordered it maybe don't understand why they're paying it. I still don't fully understand the custom duty, which I'll look into. Obviously, Jody could use a different courier, but I don't think he's going to do that. It's his favourite courier, and maybe it's a unique issue in the UK. I do think it could be better spelled out on the website. I think that it may possibly say, does it mention all three? Does it say custom duty, value-added tax, and courier admin charge? I mean, I think if it sort of mentions them, I think it could be mentioned in a much clearer way. I'm not saying that they need to put the exact amount, because they'll know the exact amount for each country. Obviously, they're delivering to various countries. Jody's from the UK. I kind of feel he's kind of stuffed us in the UK a bit, if I'm really honest. But, it's a business. He doesn't want to detract from it. How much kickback he's going to get from this in terms of people moaning about the charges on this watch, and then what happens going forward on any future Erebus watches, whether he'll change it, whether people will just think, do you know what? I think when I get the watch in Monday, obviously I'll review it. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that, but I've ordered other watches and I've not paid any charges in the UK to the courier. So being that if you order an Erebus Origin delivered to the UK through DHL, you're going to be paying that for it. I think, you compare that to the price of, let's say, Helm, which is what I intend to do. you know, they are, I'd have to check the helm prices, but, you know, is it worth it? I think it's going to be the thing. Is the Erebus Origin worth it to the UK? Which is kind of the question mark that I'm stamping down here. But we'll see. Well, I'll see Monday. I'll see what I think of it. I think, you know, if it's equal to a helm, I think the thing with a helm, which is I think the Erebus Origin will be very, very comparable to a helm. I think that the helm I will prefer because it doesn't look generic. It looks like its own thing. So even if the Erebus Origin is as good a quality, same movement, same Seiko NH35, even if the Erebus Origin is the same quality, I think it's going to lose out on its uniqueness because I think Jody had to make the Erebus Origin very generic. Some of which I like about it, some of which I don't. But you know, he doesn't have the autonomy that Helm have. Helm can do what they like. Maybe he wants to sell more units than Helm. I'm comparing it to Helm. Maybe that's just not a thing, but it's in my mind, certainly. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Hope that was useful. If you've got any questions or you can explain the custom duty in a bit more exactness with the percentage. I don't know how it's worked out, the percentage. I don't know why it's not an exact percent, you know, and it's point something something or something 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 actually, to get that exact. Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, let me know, have you ordered an Erebus Origin? Are you happy with that? Were you shocked when you got £75 request, or what, £75 plus request from DHL? Yeah, but for now, so I'll hopefully get the watch in Monday and have something. I'll at least have an unboxing on Monday, given my initial thoughts, and then it'll probably wait till Tuesday for a more detailed review because I've got a bit more time on Tuesday. But for now, one wrist, live it.